Are you kidding me? The guy asked for something spooky.
Is it a gun that sucks balls?
I'm the farting demon in this relationship.
I'd be an awesome rich person.
You're both just an embarrassment.
God, I'm awesome.
We're talking Tom Hanks and his vehicle.
Yeah, I had my finger in my mouth waiting for you to finish.
You gotta get 4 balls or something?
Like dick piercings?
No, you know damn well I'm fucking that demon.
Still sexy. How could that be close and not be
Yeah,
right?
just kill some random dude.
His wishes.
Hey everyone, and welcome to Plotty Time, the podcast where we three gamers discuss video game stories in detail and necessary and appropriate backlash. On one side of the table, we have Chump Slap.
So what's the joke? That I had a milder fart than I normally do?
And on the other side of the table, Dr. Syintist.
Yes, dude, I fucking love fingerling potatoes.
My name is Poppascotch, and as I always say, hey, you know what's fucked, Corey? The amount of time your mom's faked a jellyfish sting just to get me to piss on her. Welcome to Plotty Time. So, let's get right into it. Dr. Syintist, what are you playing? What are you watching? What are you doing? What's going on with you?
Well, we'll start with what I played because it's easiest. I played a game called The Perfect Angle. It's
The Perfect Angle. Okay.
it's kind of like a puzzle game.
It's like the Incredible Machine.
No, I wish.
I
should
remember
make it.
that.
Yeah, that was a great game. No, it's just like a bunch of like random shapes, and you got to try and figure out the angle to look at it to make it look like it's a something.
Oh, that's cool. Like you can hold it in 3D space. And
Yeah,
move
move
it
it
around.
around. And there's a couple like little things on it, like where you can try and like pictures on walls, and you got to try and get the walls to line up to pictures,
That sounds pretty
or
neat.
making a shadow. Was some of them
Kind of like Superliminal.
sort of
Some of those puzzles, yeah.
same vein of perspective puzzles, but
Is there like a story-ish to it, or is it just puzzler?
it kind of has a story.
Okay.
I mean, it has nothing to do with the gameplay. It's kind of just like tacked on. So
Oh, like Maquette.
I don't know. I didn't play that, but
Oh.
I did watch season 4 of Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah?
Ooh. What'd you think?
It's all right.
Just all right.
Yeah, I mean, I after I started like the first 3 episodes, I realized I didn't remember anything from the previous seasons.
Yeah, apparently it's been 2 years or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also watched it.
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I enjoyed it, but at the same time, like, it's weird because the rest of the section is coming out in like a month.
Yeah, that annoyed me.
And like everything was just left at a cliffhanger. There was nothing at all was resolved.
There's a lot of things that bothered me, like retconning the past was some of it. The way she
Yeah.
just slaughtered everybody.
Oh, yeah.
That just happened to be like nobody talked
Oh,
about it.
Spoiler alert, yeah. And she didn't remember any of it until she doesn't even remember whatever. And they seem to have aged a lot for less than a year since the last one. Like they look significantly older.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Because it has been 2 or 3 years.
Well, yeah, but I mean, they went from 8th grade to 9th grade and they look like they're almost adults now.
What bothered me was everyone just picks on 11. Like the adults, the fucking
Yeah.
the DJ at the fucking.
I guess the 80s were a different time though, because she was kind of weird.
There should have been 1 or 2 people who were like, oh, I'm not.
And it was California too. So that's kind
That's
of like Reagan era California.
All right. Yeah, you're right.
But still,
I don't know, man. I guess we're getting into spoilers now. I don't think we really spoiled much at this point.
no, not yet.
No.
The whole story of everyone knows Hopper's alive. What's going on with Hopper? I don't.
Yeah, that annoys me too.
I liked the one with what's his name with the glasses? That guy
Murray
with faking the Russian and sneaking in. I like everything about Murray. Murray's a good time.
Yeah.
Yeah, Murray's fucking awesome.
What's his real name?
Gelman. Brett Gelman.
Yes, that's it.
Brent Gelman. He's great. Winona Ryder was great. I loved I think my favorite episode was when the kids were high at dinner and he made the risotto. And they were all like, this is fucking great. He's like, yeah, I bet you like just that risotto. Like, that whole exchange was fantastic. But that's like my favorite part of the whole season, and that was 30 seconds.
I like, well, I didn't finish Game of Thrones yet. I'm still in season 5, I think. But the guy who was the Jor Kadim in Game of Thrones, who's the prison guard in this one, I kind of liked him.
The English speaking one.
Yeah, that kind of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good.
He was good, too. I mean, there's good things about it, but it's really hard to say how great it was or how bad it was because it's only half the story.
And also,
It's all just setting it up.
Like those kids playing D&D can beat Vecna. Be realistic here.
That's
One's
why.
a level 14.
That's why it was so amazing.
That's why it was such a big deal.
Yeah, you don't get it.
Yeah, you don't get it. Yeah, the wife doesn't watch it at all. Like she said, she tried watching She watched Game of Thrones. She tried watching Stranger Things and couldn't get into it at all.
I could see that.
Yeah, but it's like the first season, it's all like nostalgia porn. You're just like, oh, this is like an 80s fucking horror movie.
Yeah, that's the thing too. She's a little bit younger than me. I mean, I barely remember the 80s. I was 6 when they ended.
Yeah.
So I barely remember any of that stuff. I don't really have nostalgia for, but I think it was like us here don't really remember the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Like we watched a shitload of movies that were made in the 80s, you know, because that's
exactly
what was there.
I mean, the early 90s weren't much different than the 80s.
Yeah, but we watched a bunch of movies from the 80s.
It kind of was infinitely
Right,
cooler than the 80s.
Kids nowadays are, gonna watch these goddamn kids nowadays. Well, they're gonna watch the movies that come out, obviously, and they're gonna watch like the Marvel movies, which started in like 2008 probably.
Yeah.
The further you go back, the less films are gonna watch. So kids these days don't give a shit about 80s nostalgia. It's so far removed. It's like us being obsessed with the 70s. It's weird.
Yeah, I hear that.
Like you see it and you appreciate it, but you're like, that's not.
I don't think there's anything in the 70s I like.
Ah, come on. There's some good ones in there.
Maybe some comic books.
LSD.
A couple of music. That was in the 60s.
True. It was in the 70s too.
Taxi Driver? I mean,
Meh.
Yeah, that's all right.
I'd rather watch Ambulance.
No, you wouldn't.
I know. I just want to say it.
you're just trying to make me mad.
Yeah, he is.
All right, let's see what else I watched. Not talk about the 80s for some reason.
Yeah.
I watched this movie called Dark Light. It was terrible.
Dark Light.
Yeah, it's about this girl. She grew up in a farmhouse and she goes back there and then she starts having flashbacks and it turns out there's monsters that run around the corn.
Okay.
And they kind of like attack people and they're just like a big head with a big flashlight in the middle, so it looks like people with flashlights are running around the corn, which I'm sure is how they did the special effects.
Sure.
I would have loved to be there for that meeting.
I mean, if you want to, I can't say it's terrible. I've definitely seen worse, but
Yeah.
it's a pass.
Okay.
But there is this other zombie movie I watched, which was pretty good,
Yeah.
called Anna and the Apocalypse.
Anna and the Apocalypse.
That's the musical one.
Yeah,
right?
it's mix of like Glee and a zombie movie.
Who's in it?
Don't think I've seen.
I don't know if there's anybody that you would know in it. I didn't recognize anybody,
I thought, okay.
but it was pretty good. I enjoyed it. It's a nice
Change of pace.
yeah, because I mean, there's a zombie movies at a time it does, and you got to do something to stand out. And it was kind of funny, interesting.
And it was like a strict musical, or
What do you mean strict musical?
I don't know, all just music, or
They talk every once in a while, and there are scenes where they're beating zombies.
all right, funny.
I can't remember if I've seen it. Like I know what movie you're talking about. I've seen like the trailer and stuff,
Yeah.
but I don't think I've actually watched it. I gotta give it a shot.
Yeah, if you didn't watch it, definitely watch it. It's pretty good.
All right.
I was entertained,
Sounds good.
but that's all I did. Why don't you tell us what you did, Poppascotch? What'd you play, watch, whatever?
Oh, cool. So
Oh, cool.
I'll start with what I played. I played a little bit more FIFA. Just kind of wasting time playing FIFA. Don't know how much more gas in the tank I have for that game. But if you guys got it for free, I'd suggest giving it a shot. It's not
I
too
didn't
bad.
download it.
Nah.
Or don't. Whatever. Fuck me. The other game I played, I started playing, I got like 60% through Martha is Dead.
I've heard of that.
It's about a zombie.
It's a walking sim.
I don't know if
of
I
course it is.
downloaded it or not. Whatever.
It is buggy.
Sweet.
The story, and I'm not getting into too much here. This all happens in like the first 5 minutes of the game. You're a girl by the name of Juliana. You have a twin sister named Martha. Everyone loves Martha. Martha's can do no wrong. She's the best. She's the high achiever. She's the one everyone loves. And Juliana's the weirdo. So you find Martha, your sister, dead in a lake, and then your mother comes up and thinks you're Martha. So you just kind of go with it.
That's pretty neat.
That sounds like a lot of movies I've watched.
Yeah, so you're like, I want to be the good one. But the catch is that Martha was deaf.
So
and
you have to
Juliana
play
is
deaf.
not. So she has to basically play
Oh,
deaf.
so it's
for
a
the
quiet game
directions.
too?
It's a quiet man
Yeah.
too. The quiet Martha.
Yeah. It's interesting and it's weird. I don't know if I could really recommend it, just because there's like photography is a big part of the game, and they're like old timey cameras from the 40s. You have to take pictures and you have to go through the developing process, and you have to do that whole thing every fucking time you take a picture. And they teach you so much about how to develop photography. I'm like, I did not sign up for this. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I haven't finished it yet. But those are pretty much all I played. I dicked around a little in, what did I get? Grand Theft Auto 5, because after playing FIFA and Martha is Dead, I just wanted to shoot something.
Fair enough.
So I dicked around in there for a bit. But that's really all I played. Now, what I watched, I'm going to start with the worst and go to the best.
All right.
The worst, we watched Paranormal Activity 2 and 3 and 4.
Okay, those are pretty bad.
Yeah.
They are not good.
No.
I thought the first one was good and innovative and fun. And then I watched the second one and I'm like, well, this is
More
the
of
same thing, but it's fine. There's some jump scares. It's a little weird, whatever. And then this third and fourth were then the exact same thing again.
Yeah. There's only so much you can do.
Yeah, and they're like straining to keep continuity with the previous story of the girl Kate and her sister. The third one was actually kind of neat because it took place in the 80s again, and then followed them as kids and how the whole thing started. It was okay, but then the fourth one was just stupid. I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about those because they're bad. Then second to the bottom, I watched Paranormal Activity Next of Kin, which is the brand new one.
Oh, I saw that a while ago. Yeah, it was pretty bad.
It was slightly better than the other ones.
You saw this, Dr. Scientist. We talked about this, right?
Mm-hmm.
The girl who was adopted, and then she found out her birth parent was like Amish.
Yeah.
So she went back to the Amish community to like
I think we talked about this before.
trace her roots or whatever.
I
It wasn't
definitely
good.
seen the movie. I don't know if we talked about it, but
It wasn't good.
It's making the Amish these weird.
Drug smugglers.
mm-hmm.
I wish these like horrific old time pagan ritual people, and it's like they're just weirdos who make wood stuff. Like that's all.
Yeah. Don't they make like little heaters too that look like fireplaces?
Yeah, those magic heaters. I don't know how it works. I don't get it. Those pallets,
Yeah.
rocking chairs. I mean, they got the woodwork game on lock. Then finally, the stuff that didn't suck. I watched the entire first season of Shoresy.
Shoresy?
Oh, is that the
Shoresy.
Letterkenny thing?
Yes, it's a Letterkenny spin-off show with a character who in Letterkenny is pretty much a joke. The character of Shoresy is a hockey player who's very awful and says all kinds of wild chirping and shit. And then he's played by the main character of Letterkenny, the same actor, but you never see his face, and that's like the bit.
Oh, okay, I got you.
But then he ends up playing Shoresy in the show Shoresy, and it was amazing. It was a love letter to hockey. That's all it was. And it was great. It was absolutely great.
Fucking Canucks.
They're like, what are you going to show up with you and your 4 roommates? He's like, 5. She goes, my apologies to Big Sexy. Because Big Sexy's his parrot that just says tit fucker.
Well, that's hilarious.
And then it makes a lot more sense.
You
when
don't get it.
No, but like if you're into hockey and you're a fan of like, Slapshot, Dune, all those movies, tit fucking, then this is required viewing for sure. It's that good. If you don't like hockey, yeah, you could probably skip it unless you like inventive swearing.
I do.
There you go. And then last thing we watched, did you guys ever watch House or Hansu, the Japanese haunted house movie?
The original one from the 70s?
Was it the 70s or was it the 80s? I don't remember.
I think it was
But yes,
73
that
because
one.
I tried to watch it this week, but I couldn't get into it because it was subtitled.
Oh yeah, I mean it's subtitled.
Oh, paying attention?
Yeah, well, sometimes I put movies on and then I doze off. Almost.
Yeah,
all
you're
the time.
correct. 1977.
Yeah.
Pretty wild. Piano eats a girl. It was fun.
Really?
Oh yeah. Have you never seen it? Am I ruining this?
No. I mean, I want to watch it, but it's gonna take a day where I have to pay attention.
It's wild. It's wild nonsense. Because I won't get into it too much, but like the girls who are all they went to the one girl's aunt's house in the country, and they're all named after their main personality trait. So it's very strange.
So you got like bitchy, snobby.
No, it's more like let me find it.
Destiny, charity.
Yeah,
They
it's
did
shit
have
like
weird
that.
names. I saw that part. I was like, what
It's like fucking Chaucer over
I
here.
didn't like the idea. So I was like, fuck this damn movie.
They have names like fantasy,
yeah.
Melody, who plays piano. One of them is Mac, and she's like really into karate, I believe.
They're stinky.
No, I'm sorry. Kung Fu is the name of the girl who's really into karate.
Oh, jeez.
Stinky. Max into monster trucks.
So check it out. It's weird. It's from the 70s. It's great.
All right, cool.
Doesn't make sense.
Oh, my favorite kind of movie.
It slaps. I'll tell you that right now. It slaps.
Sweet.
Anyway, that's all I got this week. What are you doing, Sir Chump Slap? Playing, watching? What do you got going on?
I don't remember.
Remember?
Behind the scenes, lost all his notes.
Yeah, I lost my notes. My phone just took a shit. But I did watch Stranger Things.
Mm-hmm. We talked about that.
I watched 2 movies about weather that are just
Geostorm?
exquisite. No, Day After Tomorrow.
Oh, Geostorm's better.
It's classic. I mean, it's pretty much a real movie. It's not even a movie. It's just...
Don't they like walk from DC to New York or something like that?
Yeah, the dad walks really far.
I mean,
In like a...
people used to do it
massive-
all the time.
You're right.
Yeah, all
they
right.
sure did. You got a point there.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's just funny. It's just doesn't make any sense. It's like, oh my God, everything's freezing instantly. But if you just walk around it a little bit, you're perfectly fine. You're not going to get cold.
Yeah, right. Like if you don't step on it, you'll get away from the mega freeze. Or whatever the fuck they call
The
it.
mega freeze.
Yeah. Keep a lighter in your pocket just in case, dude. It's freezing fucking jet fuel, but no, you're fine.
It's freezing jet fuel, but if you have a big enough fire,
Yeah,
totally
you can
fine.
warm up a whole room. It's no big deal. And another movie that's even more accurate depiction of weather, Twister.
Nice.
I haven't seen it in a while. I was like, oh my God. It's worse than I thought. I
I was gonna
remember.
say, there's a reason you haven't seen it in a while.
worse. I don't know about that.
I don't know. It's pretty bad.
It has been a minute though since I've seen it.
Yeah. But yeah, you should check it out because I think that's exactly how Twisters act. I can't be.
What the
100%
fuck is that?
sure.
That and Sharknado.
Yeah.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. He's in that movie. I keep forgetting he's in Twister.
Isn't he like a main person in it?
Yeah, he's one of the main guys in the crew, but he
Yeah.
just keeps saying stupid shit. He's like, choice, man. This is choice and shit like that.
He like speaks in one-liners.
Yeah. And he repeats them.
Is there a better role for Philip Seymour Hoffman than that?
I don't think so, man. It kills it, that role. So that was pretty much the only savior in that movie. And then I watched a little series of shorts called Love, Death, and Robots.
Yeah, it's good.
It was really good.
So
I enjoyed
it
most of them.
It might be the best season, actually.
Yeah, like there might have been 1 or 2 that I was like, that's. I mean, it was still good, but it wasn't great. But the animation on that one where that golden lady's dancing in the pond, and the deaf guy,
Yeah.
the animation was fucking insane, dude. I was like, I'd play that video game. That looks so good.
Yeah.
I have not seen it
Yeah.
yet.
You should check it out
It'll
because
take
that
like
one just blows
an hour and a half
blew me
of your
away,
time.
man. Yeah, right. There's like 8 episodes, and at the most, one's 23 minutes, I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
But yeah,
I'll check it out. I will put it on the list.
yeah, fucking awesome. Check them out. That's pretty much all I watched, but I played a little bit of this game called Cyberpunk
Oh,
2077.
Did you now? Are you into it? Would you say you're into it?
I'm pretty far into it, I guess.
I don't think that's what he meant.
I know.
No, it's not, but I'll take it.
I don't know. There's so much to explore, but everything looks the same, you know?
Oh, yeah.
It's like, you got to go to this part. I'm like, am I not in this part of the city? Oh, it's the other place that looks exactly like this part. I don't know. It's pretty boring. But I got to a mission where it's like, this is the point of no return. So,
Oh, man, you're going through it, huh?
yeah. I mean, I guess there's 3 different ways to do the story or something. One of them's at like 90-some%, and then the others are at like 30, 20, 50. I don't know.
And as long as you're not trying to platinum it, you don't really have to do everything.
Yeah. Can you still do the other main missions if you finish this one? You know what I'm talking about, Scotch?
No.
Like in the pause menu, there's like 3 little boxes on the top that say percentages, and there's like different stories
Dude, I don't even remember.
You played it for months.
But I vaguely remember that. I mean, when it also may be different since I've played it.
Yeah.
But when I played it, once you finish the story, like that was it.
Oh, really? There's no
Dude, just
end game?
upload it to the cloud in case it doesn't start from before you
I don't care. If I finish it, I'll just fucking stop playing it.
play Elden Ring again.
There's that too. That's
Yeah. I don't know. So I'm getting close, guys. I do like the amount of loot you get. Like every time you kill a bunch of people, I guess all the weapons level with you because I'm always getting new, better weapons when I kill people.
So it's like a looter, like Borderlands.
Yeah.
Again, this might be different from when I played it, but if you get a weapon, you can only max it to like so high. And then as your level went up, you can max it further, but it costs so many resources. So
Yeah.
if you liked a weapon, you could keep upgrading it, but really they wanted you to go find newer weapons at your level because it was cheaper than
Yeah.
trying to level up yours.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's all I did.
All right. Well, then, I mean, if that's all you got to say, we'll go ahead and move into video game news / stuff.
Oh my God, what is going on?
It's the news.
It's the news with Scotchy, and he's gonna continue.
Probably.
Thanks. Big news this week. Raven Software QA Group becomes the first major U.S. video game maker to unionize. How about that?
Bunch of commies.
Psh, where do they think they are? Canada?
19 votes for and 3 votes against the decision.
There's only 22 people that work in there?
Yeah, that's our whole department, the QA staff at Raven Software. It's a big deal because they're now officially recognized by the Game Workers Alliance, and it's the first time a worker for a major studio, because they're owned by Activision, has successfully unionized.
Oh, wow.
So it's not even the whole company; it's just the QA staff.
Oh,
Probably the most annoying people who work there, too.
they don't do their job very well. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? I don't know.
I mean, if it was Bethesda, you could probably say that.
Yeah, I was trying to think whatever Ravensoft does.
Call of Duty games.
Oh, yeah. They're
To
all
be
right.
fair, the Call of Duty games are mostly not buggy,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, they usually come out of the box all right.
Or they have that day one patch that fixes like 40 things, so you don't know how bad it is.
Yeah, true that.
But they're like any Bethesda game that comes out, I guarantee is in a worse state than any Call of Duty game, which kind of pains me to say, but I don't know. I guess their QA department's great. But either way, first major studio to unionize.
Hooray for them.
Now, another thing I want to report. We kind of reported on this before.
Oh,
But
Stadia?
I just
How's that coming along?
It's great. So, I don't know if you guys even remember me saying this. I'm pretty sure I did say it. There was a patent filed from Sony maybe a year ago, I think it was.
Oh, yeah, you talked about this.
Yeah, you remember. So, it was actually March 2021, over a year ago, where they were talking about adding trophies to PlayStation 1 games.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I
yes.
thought they did that.
They did not, but they are going to be doing it with the new PlayStation Plus package.
Oh, snap.
Yeah, that's what I meant. I thought they did that. I thought people were already finding trophies on games like
Yes, they are now. But the originally the news came out like a year ago that they were going to do it, and they hadn't done anything until just recently.
Nice.
Yeah,
And it was actually from.
It's the only way you'll get people to play those blocky-ass games again.
Yeah.
That's a good point. It will definitely make me more inclined to give them a shot. That's for sure.
Yeah, good luck with your static cameras and your...
Was God of War
Tank controls.
1 on PlayStation 1?
No, it was 2.
2. I thought so.
Yeah, think of how bad the PlayStation 1 games were.
I'm gonna have to be super selective if I really want to try to get platinums on those.
You know you're going to play Resident Evil again, right?
I was just thinking about that too.
That's tank controls. They might change it. Who knows? Probably not.
Tank controls are the worst.
And static cameras.
Static and oh shit, you're right. Oh. Fucking A. See, that's I still stand firm that that's why everyone loves Resident Evil 4. Because they got rid of that.
Yeah, probably.
Because the story, we're gonna get to it one day, but the Resident Evil 4 story is fucking nonsense. Nonsense. The Napoleon gremlin guy is just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
A lot of people really love that game. I'll get off this high horse. I'll get off this. Trophy support's coming for PlayStation 1 Classic games with the new PlayStation service. I don't know if it's going to be every game, but the one that actually reported it, fun fact, was a game we talked about in this very podcast, Siphon Filter from 1999.
Oh, nice.
So that's pretty dope.
Yeah, our podcast got trophies on. That's what you're saying, right?
That's mostly. You summarized it very well. And then in other news, we got a whole bunch of Sony properties that are coming to the small screen, including a little lesser known one. I don't know if you guys have heard of it. God of War.
Oh no! Don't do that.
They're gonna ruin it just like they ruined Uncharted.
Yep. It's actually, they're working with Netflix and Amazon Prime to create TV shows based of God of War and Horizon.
All right, who's gonna play Kratos?
Maybe it'll just be the life
Gerard
of
Butler.
people.
Oh, I was hoping Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Playing Kratos?
It's other people, not Kratos.
Is
They're
it
talking about who Alloy would be as well. There were some discussions about
Alloy?
that. Alloy.
Aloy.
Aloy? I always thought it was alloy because metals.
Yeah, but
I
Alloy
don't-
has
I don't
2
know.
L's.
It's a different world. They
they're
pronounce
spelling-
I mean,
all
you
fucked
played
up.
both games. Don't they say the name lots?
A lot, yeah, and I don't remember. They say it often. Most times talking to her, actually.
Rachel Allen. What the fuck's her name?
Rachel Lee Cook.
No, the one who was in Daredevil.
No idea.
Never mind.
I'm trying to think.
Can't think of
It
it.
doesn't matter. There's also going to be a Gran Turismo show for some reason.
This is Star Kit.
That would be fucking sick, wouldn't it?
That would be pretty.
But it's
sweet.
like old Kit, like his voice is more gravelly because he's older now.
Yeah.
So it's just going to be racing.
Deborah Allen and Wolf was the one I was thinking. of.
Oh yeah, she'd do a good job
And Philip Seymour Hoffman
as Kratos.
Perfect.
and Tom Holland as I can't think of his name.
Boy,
Loki. Yeah.
boy. Spoiler.
What?
What's his name? Atreus.
What is Atreus? Atreus?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, yeah. I was just saying boy in my head a lot. It made me laugh. So there's also, I don't have this in the official news thing, but have you heard of what's going on with this fucking Twisted Metal show on Paramount that's coming
I
out?
heard that's coming out. That sounds fucking
Fucking-
cool.
Will Arnett is being the voice of the clown guy.
Sweet Tooth.
Sweet Tooth.
No, I thought it was somebody else.
No, it's Will Arnett is going to be Sweet Tooth.
Oh, I hope The Rock is Axel.
Will Arnett. Sweet
I
Tooth
don't-
was fucking huge, jacked.
But he's just doing the voice.
I don't know if this is animation.
Oh, yeah,
because they
it's
just said
probably
he's doing the
animated.
voice of.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's just the laugh,
Or maybe it's like Darth Vader and they have someone else do the costume. And
maybe.
That's a good point. But the cast for that is blowing up. Like Nev Campbell's going to be in it.
I thought you said blowing up.
I wasn't done.
Shots
There's
fired.
more. Anthony Mackie is co-starring. Stephanie Beatriz from Brooklyn Nine-Nine is in it. Thomas Hayden Church is in it. And I think there's one more, but it's not in front of me right now. But still, these are like real actors. I thought this show was just going to be, a joke.
I think it still is.
What are you talking
don't know.
about? Twisted Metal was fucking awesome, story-wise.
Wait till you get your PlayStation 1 trophies and try playing it again.
Oh,
I tried.
It's probably going to be tough.
I downloaded it on the PS3, and I was like, holy shit, I remember these graphics being awesome back in the day.
And it seemed like the control so much easier.
Yeah, right?
I'm just trying to think, like, are there any car combat games at all since Twisted Metal? I mean, Rocket League, but that's more of like a soccer
Yeah,
thing.
you're not blowing shit up. I don't know. I don't think so.
Mario Kart's probably as close as it got.
Yeah.
Yeah, but then you're still racing. Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. We'll have to wait and see how fucking awesome this show is. And then last piece of news I got. I know we discussed this offline, but we have to talk about it for posterity's sake.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Posterity's sake.
Posterity's sake. That's a tongue twister. Seth Green created a show around his NFT ape, and then someone stole it.
I don't see why that's a big deal. You could still make the show.
Yeah.
It makes me more confused about what an NFT is.
Yeah, right?
I think, no, the NFT is what you think it is. But I think in the contract for him making the show was that he had the NFT.
So once he
Once he
lost
didn't
it,
have it, he couldn't.
he can't use its likeness.
Well, he could use it like this because nobody owns it. But something along those lines. I read a lot of threads about it, and it made me laugh more and more.
Yeah, take that, Seth Green.
Apparently, this happened because an anonymous scammer stole some of his NFTs during a phishing scheme.
Yeah.
Like, first of all, how do you fall for that?
Seriously.
Yeah, I Chump Slap. I don't fall for that.
No.
I will say, in the realm of cybersecurity, which I dabble, phishing schemes are very elaborate now. They're getting
I
fucking
know.
weird good about it.
But still, it's Seth Green. You think but I also,
It's embarrassing.
and then the person who stole it sold it to somebody else. I read a lot of things about the legal things on this. But since it was stolen from Seth Green, in New York, you can't buy something that's stolen. It's still the person who owned it. So the person who bought it now has the NFT for it and all the stuff that the blockchain says he has it, but legally Seth Green still owns it. And it kind of defeats the whole purpose of blockchain. The article I read assumes that Seth Green won't sue because if he wins, that kind of defeats the whole purpose of him pimping all these NFTs.
Nice. That's even funnier. Like setting a legal precedent for your shit being worthless.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
If you move forward.
Like the blockchain says he owns it, but I own it.
yeah. So there's no reason for it? No, you're not getting it.
I just don't get it.
Is that where we landed? There's no reason for any of this?
Yes, that is
Is
obvious.
that what the court says?
But he didn't take him to court yet, so we'll see what happens. It's an unfolding
my
situation.
God.
I'm interested because I mean TV shows are not cheap to make. Like someone put millions of dollars into this, assuming he was allowed, like he had the rights to this. You know,
How could you greenlight that? A show about an NFT monkey?
Yeah, I don't understand how that would be even. Whatever.
this is fun.
Unless he's trying to do it like Robot Chicken and have the guy as the I don't get it. Whatever.
Robot monkey NFT.
Bored Ape Yacht Club.
Oh my god, it's just such a scam.
Yeah.
Like I've said this before, and I understand the intent behind an NFT, like adding the blockchain to maybe a digital print of something, like some kind of digital art someone created. I kind of get where they're going with that. But NFTs of like the first fucking tweet, like I don't get it. It feels like the whole thing where you like buy a star.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You get to name it whatever you want. It's just, I don't know. It's such a scam.
Yeah, it's
In other news, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 arrives in October.
Oh, right.
Not Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 that came out in, I don't know, 2000.
No,
It's Modern War TOO.
There it is.
Modern Warfare also.
I think we made that joke before.
But yeah, so that's coming out October 28th. I don't know if it's going to have zombies, but if it doesn't, there's really no reason to own it. Also, it has all the characters from the original version of Modern Warfare 2.
There are characters?
Aren't there rumors that it's VR?
There are rumors that a VR portion's coming out for it.
Yeah.
Because there was some like, I don't know, they had the box art maybe? Or something leaked where they had to get VR approval, and that only happens with VR games.
Yeah.
But that's all I got for video game news / stuff. All right, so let's get into it. Let's talk about this fucking episode.
Let's get it.
Yeah, we might have to cut some of that out. We've been on for a long time.
Fucking long ass intro.
Well, you know, we've cheapened out a little bit. We got a couple barely hour-long episodes out there, so
Fair
give the
enough.
fans what they want. This is a game where we ask the question, how ridiculous can an open-world game crime simulator get? The answer is we haven't seen shit yet with Saints Row 2. TOO.
Nice.
You like that?
Call
it was
back.
released October 14th, 2008. #1 song in the country. Guess what, guys? I'm
Pharrell,
mixing up.
Happy.
I was just going to say I got clues for you.
Oh.
Yeah.
This song
Mhm.
was the feature song in the film The Hangover.
I don't know.
It's from October 14th, 2008.
Neil Diamond.
That's the first clue. I can also give you a
Sweet
second
Caroline.
clue. No.
I have no idea.
I
couldn't tell you one thing that happened in The Hangover.
Okay, well, this one will probably you guys are going to get it in like 2 seconds when I say this one. The song both samples and interpolates the 2004 song Dragon's Tia Din Tai by Ozone.
Psy. Gangnam Style.
That's not a bad guess, I guess.
I don't know.
It is Live Your Life by
Jesus
T.I.
Christ.
featuring Rihanna.
Obviously.
Man, Rihanna is like
Brought up
the
a
main
lot.
go. Yeah.
Yeah, she comes up a lot, right? #1 movie in the country.
Hangover.
Hangover.
No, it wasn't The Hangover, but good guess. Solid guess. First clue, I did a mini-sode about it.
Street Fighter.
So no one heard it.
Yeah.
Nice. Well, so if I did a mini-sode about it, that should tell you right there it's based on a video game.
Yes.
I said Street Fighter.
Tomb Raider.
Nope. Second clue. All right, fine. I see your face. It stars Mark Wahlberg.
13.
Nope.
Mark Wahlberg of the Wahlburger fame.
You're going to feel
Uncharted.
silly when I say it.
Uncharted.
I think he did an Uncharted mini.
Fast and Furious.
No, it is Max Payne.
Oh, duh.
There was a Max Payne movie, and it
There
was
were
number
two
one.
of them, weren't there?
There were games.
Oh, yeah.
There was definitely Max Payne the first. No, there were two movies, I'm pretty sure. But the second one didn't have Marky Mark. First one had Marky Mark and what's her name? Oh, man, I'm blanking. The girl from that 70s show.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
Mia Kunis.
Yes.
There you go. She got kicked out of the bourbon ads was my next thing. It was released for PlayStation 3 and Xbox 360, developed by Volition and published by THQ. It is an open-world action-adventure crime simulator. Dr. Syintist, you picked this game. How about you lead us in? Tell us what it's all about.
Well, if you want to know what happened in the first game, listen to our podcast because we get everything 100% correct,
That's so true.
especially for Saints Row.
Oh, yeah. As the YouTube comments show.
But if you don't remember, at the end of Saints Row, you are on a boat and you get blown up, and you're assumed to be dead. But apparently not, because it's 5 years later, and you wake up in from a coma.
Sure.
And they're like, hey, the boss guy, because I guess that's how they refer to you, because you can pick your character. He's up from the coma, and then like you're in jail, and then some other guy's like, hey, man, I can get you out of here.
Yeah, just some random ass dude.
Yeah, the second you get up from a coma, you can get up and walk around. Whatever.
A 5-year
5
coma,
year.
first thing. Like, I'm going to go for a run, I think.
Yeah, let's break out of jail.
Oh, they really kept my muscles from atrophying.
Luckily, we watched Prison Break 2 weeks ago, and now we know how.
Perfect.
But I get the guy's name's Carlos, and he's like, hey, let's get out of here. So you eventually break out of prison. You start beating up COs and steal a cop car, and then you steal a boat.
Oh, yeah. Classic Prison Break.
Yeah. And then Carlos is like, hey, man, a lot has changed since you were here. Saints don't even exist anymore.
What?
And some corporation has taken over the row.
Oh, bastards.
Carlos wasn't in the first game, right? He's just supposed to be like
do
the
not
brother
believe
of
so.
some.
No, this is a
previous-
guy he doesn't even know.
Yeah.
Because he's like, I don't know you. Why should I trust you? It's like, I got shanked for you, dude.
Yeah, that's why I'm here.
I guess he was either in the Saints or I thought this backstory was his brother was the
Yeah,
Yeah,
I definitely
maybe.
remember hearing him say, like,
Yeah, I think
my
he said
older
that in the
brother
beginning.
was a saint. Yeah.
Yeah, and then these other people have taken over since you left.
Mm.
And he just kind of like that. And you're like, all right. And then he's like, oh, yeah, Johnny Gat's been arrested too, who you may remember from the first game.
Oh, Johnny Gat.
And he's charged with over 300 murders.
387 counts.
Yeah, he's like this game series mascot.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's fucking awesome in this one.
So you decide, hey, yeah, let's go break Johnny Gat out of prison. So you go to court where he's being sentenced and you storm the courthouse, I guess, and get him out. This is such a shitty town, man.
Dude, I like this one part when you get in there, he's like talking to the judge. He's like, it should be more like 250 counts of murder because, I don't know, statute of limitations and
Yeah.
everything.
There's no statute of limitations on murder.
What?
But you get him out, and then he starts telling you what happened, and that Julius, who was the one in charge in the first one, he's gone missing, and Troy, who was the guy who was voiced by, can't think of his name.
Michael
Yeah,
Rappaport.
Michael Rappaport.
Yeah.
He was actually an undercover cop, which came out of nowhere from the first game,
Yeah, I remember that.
and now he's
Yeah.
now he's chief of
I
police.
forgot about that.
Yeah, of course he is.
Yeah, and don't they make reference several times in this game being like, we don't know how he went from detective to being chief of police in 5 years.
Yeah,
Yeah.
especially an undercover cop, and then to police, but.
And he was looking out for the Saints in jail because they were getting murdered or
Yeah,
something.
he was sort of staking out with him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, so Johnny Gat's like, hey, take me to my girlfriend's house who faked her death in the last game.
She has a nice house.
I know, she has a pretty nice house.
Real nice house.
For being fake dead.
She was the singer.
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Why
you
can't I-
stole her
what's her
from
name?
one of the other ones, Aisha.
Aisha, that's correct. Yeah.
So you're like, all right, let's get straight back into the gangs game.
Sounds good.
And Johnny's like, hey, we got to meet some more people. We got to repopulate the Saints.
Yeah.
He's like, let's go find some people and get a crew together, and find a place where we can. Aisha's like, you ain't doing that here, and he's like, all right. Well, there's this old church that was apparently underground now because Old Tor built over it, and that's where we'll go.
Oh, it was a hotel.
Oh, yeah.
And then an earthquake happened or something.
Yeah.
And it
And then
Yeah, like got buried by an earthquake, I think.
the
they
whole
said, or
city
something
was
like that.
built on top of the rubble.
yeah,
In those 5 years he was out?
it's like Venice, I guess. Yeah.
I guess so.
I don't know.
But there's like this is a section where there's just a bunch of like small missions to
Yeah.
kind of get your feet wet. Like you had to get girls from massage parlor. You had like there was several missions where you're helping frat boys. I don't understand.
Yeah, it's weird.
You got the protect music artists, like stuff. Like it's just you do like
Just
bouncing.
doing shit.
Yeah, I guess tutorial missions. Is
You're
what
just
I
really
assume.
getting your name out there that you're back.
Yeah, which is exactly what you want to do when you break out of prison.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, super high profile crime stuff. That's a great idea. But is this where you meet Laura at some point? Do you guys remember Laura from the video?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, is that the chemist?
Yes.
Oh, you meet her later.
Yeah, we'll talk
Oh,
about
okay.
it.
You haven't even met the person who introduces you to Laura yet.
Yeah, man.
I'm
Relax.
sorry. I'm jumping way ahead as you were.
So you take over this underground earthquake covered hotel, and you're like, hey, let's go find some new crew members. I got some old prison contacts. Johnny's like, I do too. Let's go figure it out. So you go, and the only person you actually find is Carlos, I think.
Good
And-
old Carlos.
Yeah.
You're like, I know this one guy.
Yeah, he broke me out of prison.
And then everyone's like, what's your fucking... And you're like, I've been awake for like 2 days. Like, what do you...
I got the only guy I know out of court.
Yeah.
And he's great, by the way. What are you guys bringing to the table?
And Johnny Gat shows up with Pierce and Shondi. And I guess you just make them the lieutenants of your gang.
We're the only ones that are there. Yep. First ones.
Yep. And you're like, all right, we got to take out these 3 gangs. I'm going to put each one of you in charge of taking out that gang. And
Okay.
did anybody play this?
No. Kind of wish I did.
I know I played 3 and 4. I don't think I got into 2 yet.
I'm assuming you can do these missions in any order. And I'm just going to go by the order that I saw them on the movie that I watched.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Because the movie I watched, it went in order, but it was like all the Ronin missions.
Yeah, it was kind of like that, but there was a little mix up in here.
Yeah, just go. We'll figure it out.
Yeah.
At some point, we'll get to the end game and we'll come back together. Yeah, it's fine.
So the one I watched started with Shondi, and she was taking down the gang known as the Sons of Samity.
Yes.
And then she's like, hey, yeah, they sell drugs to frat kids, and they make a lot of money.
Oh, good.
And you're like, let's find some and figure out what it is.
Loa dust.
Yeah, so you shake down some low-level drug dealers and steal their drugs.
Is it supposed to be like angel dust?
I
or
just
is
assumed it was like
some
meth.
kind of meth, marijuana variant? I don't know what it was.
It's
but-
definitely marijuana based.
Yeah.
They say that.
Oh, so it's probably like just chills you out and gets you high.
Maybe it's like marijuana and fucking embalming fluid.
Maybe it's like the difference between coke and crack.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it.
I don't know. I mean, it's a made-up
Just
drug.
fucking moon
I think I
rocks.
taste
that's
a
all
little
it is.
cinnamon.
Some egg.
Some chili pea. Stop putting that bullshit chili powder in there. That's my signature.
You stole it from a guy named Veteran Child who's just like a shitty DJ.
Yeah, what a dumb name too.
Yeah.
Is that a reference to something?
I
It has
don't
to be.
know.
Veteran child.
I have no idea.
I have no idea. Yeah.
But you see he's getting yelled at by the 2 guys in charge of the SOS, the general and Mr. Shunsign, a.k.a. Papa Shango.
Shogo?
Maybe. Papa
Shogo.
Shango's the wrestler. So
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
interested.
I know. I kept thinking that when they said his name. I was like, yeah.
Oh wait, I had some problem mixing these. I mixed up these guys.
Yeah, it's very easy.
Anyway, sorry. As you were saying,
But then Shondi's like, hey, I know somebody who's in prison right now who can figure out what's in this stuff, and we can make our own. And you got to break her out of prison. So you're like, all right, let's go to prison and break her out.
Easy.
Easy, yep. So then you're like, you break her out, and she's like, yeah, I'll figure it out. And this is the Laura you're talking about. This is the one you break out of prison.
Yeah.
and she's like, I assume she was some kind of like Martha Stewart type. Like this was the thing
Yeah.
about Martha Stewart.
I assumed it was
Yeah.
like, well, Walter White. Is that the guy's name?
Yes. Yeah, because she's like,
Like
I
a
could tell you
chemist
what's
teacher,
in
yeah.
it. I could tell you what's in any recipe. Blah blah blah.
And she reverse engineers the drug. And he's like, I can figure this out for you. And you're like, all right, let's go burn down a plane where they grow this shit. We can make our own.
And this is where she's like, oh, that's good because my husband has a pilot's license.
Yeah. He can fly helicopters. He'll fly you over and set it on fire.
That's so cool.
I just like the idea that you are like, I like this drug. Let's do this now.
Yeah.
And they just kill everybody else. They burn down the field.
And they make their own and sell it.
Make their own and just sell it. I'd be pretty pissed if I was the Samadhi gang too.
Yeah, and they are pretty pissed. And they talk to a veteran child and like, how did anybody figure this out? He's like, well, there's this girl I used to date because apparently that's the joke. Shandy dates everybody.
Yeah.
And they're like, well, we're going to do something about that.
Uh-oh.
Now the video I watched went to a different part.
Okay.
And it's Carlos. And he's like, hey, this is the Brotherhood. And
Poor
Mero
Carlos.
here wants to talk to you. And Mero's voiced by the great Michael Dorn.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I know who that is, but
He
for the
does
listeners-
Worf on Star Trek.
Yes.
Oh, sure.
He's the guy who drives the South Park kids to take the whale to shoot him to the moon.
Of course.
If you remember that.
That's one of the best fucking episodes of that whole show. Free Willyx?
Yeah.
Anyway, sorry. I just keep interjecting.
No, that's fine. It's funny. And Mero's like, hey, why don't we make a deal? We'll have this deal going down. I know you want in on some stuff. I'll be nice. I'll give you 30%, which sounds like a deal to me. But you're like, hey, no, dude, I want it all.
No, he goes 80-20.
Oh,
he only wants to give you 20, man.
I mean, still, that's nothing. You do nothing.
To
You
do
get
nothing.
20%.
Yeah, just to not kill him.
He's like, hey, he tries to play nice, but you're like, nope, we're not going to do that.
Well,
Which,
yeah.
I mean, you're just out of a 5-year coma. Nobody knows who you are except for, I guess, like whispers of shit you did years ago.
Yeah.
Like
But
Johnny
like
Gat
everyone you
wasn't
mostly
talking about
impacted
it.
is probably dead by now.
Yeah, pretty much.
And he's like, I'll give you 20% just for being cool. And you're like, no, fuck you. I'm going to kill it. I'm just going to take it all.
Well, he
It's
is
fine.
trying to make a name for himself, so he's like, no, I'll just fucking take it all, dude.
Yeah, and
I don't even know what you make money on, but I'm going to do it.
And then you come across a guy, Donnie, who was in the gang from the last one that drove cars. I don't remember what it was.
Oh, yeah.
But he's also in this car driving gang. And you kidnap him and you're like, hey, you're going to blow up a bunch of trucks for me and tell those Brotherhood we mean business.
Were they the Rollers?
Yes, that's it.
Okay.
I have it right here in my notes. As soon as you said that, Donnie's from the old Rollers gang.
I don't even remember seeing him. I just watched like a part of an old video that has him in it, but I guess he wasn't that big of a character.
Probably not.
Yeah. Because Mira does not like what he's told.
Yeah, because then after he blows it up, Mero's like, hey, Donnie, what are you doing? I'm pretty pissed at you.
It's like, they had a gun to my head. It was either me. He's like, yeah, well, it's your life or the life of your friends.
Yeah.
You chose wrong, coward.
And
But he keeps him alive then.
yeah, but it's just,
well, at that point, that's because Jessica.
I was just gonna
Miro's-
say this is where we meet Jessica, who's played by
Elijah Dushku.
no, Shandy's played by Elijah Dushku.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but Jessica's like, oh, who's going to fix my car then?
Yeah, and you're like, all right, I guess we'll keep him because he fixes cars all
Yeah,
right.
he's pretty good at fixing
Jamie
cars.
Presley,
Oh.
that's who does that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's Jessica.
Okay. You got some good names.
He has some big names here. And then it cuts to another scene where Carlos is like, hey, man, the Brotherhood's kind of being quiet on this whole deal thing. They won't talk to me about it anymore because you said no.
Yeah, well, why would they?
And you're like, fuck it. I'm going to steal some toxic waste. I got a plan.
This is the dumbest plan.
It's an interesting pivot, but sure.
Yeah. So you break into the nuclear power plant that's in the town, which
I'm sure their security is lax.
everything else in this town is lax.
I mean, you walked out of the prison. How much
Yeah,
does the
right.
nuclear power plant have?
And you steal some toxic waste because they're just laying around at the place. Mm-hmm. And you somehow stick it in the ink on the tattoos, and then Mero gets a tattoo, and it like burns him.
Yeah, it waits till the tattoo's done, and then it starts burning.
Yeah. It's like, ah! And it doesn't even fuck up his face. It's just kind of like, yeah.
Yeah, well, it kind of gets burnt, like a chemical burn.
Yeah, but
I get it, but first of all, how did he switch it out? How did it take the entire time and then it actually affected him?
Yeah.
There's so many questions.
Yeah.
about- but I guess we just go with it.
Well, yeah.
And of course it was the face tat. It wasn't like an arm tat.
No.
not to mention the fact that he's stolen toxic waste from a nuclear power plant.
Oh yeah, that's just blowing by that easy peasy.
So after this happens, yeah, the main character is kind of just walking around, and gets a call from Jennifer or Jessica.
Jessica.
All right. And she's like, hey, man, I got Carlos. And she's like, payback's a bitch, motherfucker.
Oh, we gonna fuck him up because you fucked up Miro's face? His face is getting fucked up too.
So you go find Donnie, and he's like, hey, man, nobody tells me anything. I'm a rat now. But then you kind of like smack him once, and he's like, all right, they have him. And you eventually come up to, they're dragging Carlos behind a truck and driving around the town.
Yeah, real fucked up.
Yeah,
But
that's not great.
Nah. And then eventually you stop him, but Carlos is too fucked up to do anything, and you kind of just shoot him in the face.
Yeah, you just mercy kill him.
Yeah.
Instead of taking him to a
Euthanize
hospital.
him. Well, it's too fucked up. He doesn't want to live like that.
That's a lot of road rash. He might be. I mean, it's not good to get drugged behind a truck.
No, he's probably so fucked up.
And then it cuts from this back to DJ Veteran Child here.
Oh, yeah?
And he kind of like breaks into the Saints headquarters and kidnaps Shondi.
Yeah, he just walks right in.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, everyone knows where they are, apparently.
Yeah. Well, they did kill some of the Samiti guys to take over the place, so maybe they know.
Yeah, that's right.
And then after he kidnaps her, he calls you. And then he's like, whatever. And you're like, all right, I'm going to kill you and save Shondi. And then you do.
Yeah, you sure do.
And this was after Veteran Child got in trouble for the Saints doing all their shit. They're like,
you got to do
well, I
something
know
about
Shondi, we used to date. It's like, well, go kill her, I guess.
this. Yeah. And then he gets killed for it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, all right, I'm going to go party and find out some info on some Simony drug labs.
Yeah, because we need to blow up some labs.
Yeah, and it goes with the classic bit that she sleeps with everybody and she knows somebody who knows what these are. And you're like, fine, let's blow them up.
Fucking A.
She also parties a lot, not as a judgment on her character, but have we ever seen like video game characters in the story openly like use drugs as much as she does and like fucking love it?
No.
Not that I can remember.
Yeah, me neither.
She's just a stoner, dude. She hacky sacks and shit.
She does do she does a lot of hacky stuff. But I'll tell you what, for someone who's that much of a stoner, she gets shit done.
I know, right? How did she do it?
Yeah.
She's an intelligence specialist, I'll tell you what.
And there's a rivalry between her and Pierce that goes on throughout this. But
Oh, well, we'll get into that. I was waiting the entire time. First of all, wow, Neil Patrick Harris was the voice of Veteran Child. That's interesting.
yeah,
is
there's a
neat.
lot of people in this.
Didn't notice that. But the entire game, I was waiting for Pierce to be the undercover bad guy, like, or sell out the Saints, or do something like against the Saints, because they just keep shitting on him.
Well, that happened in that game we just did, didn't it?
Yeah, what game was that?
Yes, that Vice City.
Yeah.
The guy kept being like, I don't know if I get my share.
Yeah.
And you turned out he told the mob that you were giving him funny money.
Yeah, this just made fun of that game.
That'd make more sense.
Yeah, right?
But I was like, he's clearly gonna defect. Everyone's treating him shitty for no reason, and he never did. He just took it.
No, he's just a punching bag.
Yeah. He's all about the team.
Yeah, he really is.
But anyway, the Sons of Samity are obviously mad because now you've burned down their fields and blew up their drug labs. It really is affecting their bottom line.
You think?
And so they kidnap you and for some reason let you wake up. He's like, go ahead and kill him. Well, I think it's the general there at this time. I don't remember from the video if it was the general, Mr. Sunshine.
Yeah, General.
The general. And he's like, all right, guys, kill him. But then somehow you fight off the 4 guys in this limo and escape.
You shoot,
and
shoot your
jump
way
out.
out of the limo. Yeah. Brilliant.
Am I remembering correctly? You ride a dude like a fucking boogie board?
Yeah, that definitely happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty sweet.
And you're high as fuck.
Yeah, because they injected you with a whole bunch of things.
Loud.
And then you're like, oh, I got to go save Shondi because the Sons are attacking her too. And then you do.
And you're super jacked up.
Yeah.
She's like, are you high? And like, okay.
Yeah, and then you kind of, after you save her, they're like, let you lay down, and she's like, whatever.
Yeah,
And you sleep it off.
it's pretty good.
And you wake up to finding out that helicopters are dropping the drugs around town. That's how they're handing them out.
Oh, that's how they get it. Where do they get the supply?
Luckily, you know a helicopter driver.
Fucking A.
And you're like, let's go blow up some helicopters. And he's like, all right.
Shoot them
do this.
down, boys.
So you blow them up. And then all these junkies are talking to Mr. Sunshine in the next clip. And they're like, I want my Loa. And he's like, hey, if you want it, go attack the Saints.
Doesn't the general cut off Mr. Sunshine's ear first?
Yeah.
That was badass.
Oh, just for like a respect thing too.
Yeah. He's like,
He's
well,
just
I got
like,
to do
"You know
something,
this."
dude.
He's like, you know this has to happen. He's like, yeah, I know. I'm cool with it.
So all these junkies attack the Saints, which is not a bad idea.
Nah, if they want their drugs, they got to get them
Except
somehow.
they take the drugs and run.
Yeah.
And you change some of these guys down. And he tells you where Mr. Sunshine is. So you go to the meat packing plant he's at, and then eventually kill him.
Mm-hmm.
Is this is this the guy who has like the voodoo doll
Yeah.
that attacks you? That was kind of fun.
Yeah, that's pretty neat.
Then after that, you're like, I need to take out the general because
Yeah.
he's leading this whole thing. So to do that, you break into the police station and tap into their cameras
Of course.
because he's driving his limo around. So if you can find out where the limo is, you can get it.
And these cops have these cameras, but they can't get you who escaped from jail.
Yeah.
Or Johnny Gat.
Yeah.
Like how you dressed up as random repairman in the Saints colors.
Yeah. And he's like, I don't know. Well, we're here for something.
Yeah. And then Shondi hacks the Gibson and gets you into the cameras.
Shit, yeah.
And you eventually locate the limo and you go find it and you eventually fight the general inside of a mall, I think. I don't know how you got there or whatever.
It's just where he hangs out.
Yeah. And then you eventually kill the general and boom, the Sam D's are gone.
Boom, son. Dunzo.
Dunzos.
So that's what, 1 of 3 that are
Yep.
dead?
Yeah.
That's 1 of
And
3
the corporation?
down.
Who's next?
Oh, Shondi just kind of like runs into Jessica trying to go to the bank and says some stuff. And you're like, I have a bank robbery here. I don't remember that at all. Who knows?
Oh, you kidnap her in the bank.
That's right, Jessica.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
So Shondi takes Jessica and you kidnap her in the bank and run out. Because that leads up to the next part.
Yep.
Because it cuts to a scene of Miro at a monster truck rally where he's going to jump a bunch of trucks.
That's what the Brotherhood does, I guess.
They just have monster truck rallies at the same arena every day.
Yeah. I mean,
That's their legitimate business.
you got a thing, stick to it, do what you love.
Yeah, it's pretty sick how you fuck her up, though.
Yeah. Because then you see Mero lands on a bunch of cars and Jessica was stuck in the trunk of one of them. And Mero runs her over.
Oh.
And you're like, hey, bro, check the trunk. And Mero's all fucked. And he's like, ah.
Payback for Carlos, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty fucking gnarly. It's
Yeah.
pretty sick.
Yeah, it's pretty. This is a lot more gangstery than the other ones have been.
Yeah.
Eventually, this series just becomes like superhero cartoon bullshit. So
It's getting there.
This is
but
the
you're
first
still
step.
trying- Yeah, this is definitely because remember in the first game, wasn't there a mission where you rode around in like a fire truck and sprayed shit everywhere?
I think this is this game.
Is it this one? I don't know.
I don't
It may be
remember.
the first game. I don't know.
It could
I
be
didn't
both
see
for
that
all we
one.
know.
But next, Mero's all pissed and stuff, and you're like, all right, we got to steal some fireworks from these guys. So I know the tattoo artist for them is in a band. So we're going to go there and steal his fireworks. And you do. And then you burn his hand so he can't do tattoos anymore.
Oh, no. Oh, I thought it was because so he couldn't play guitar.
Maybe both.
The hell, it makes sense, yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's his livelihood, right? So it makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the Brotherhood gets all pissed off and like, we're going to start blowing stuff up from the Saints.
All right.
And Mero kind of goes and asks the head of Altor, who's played by Jay Moore,
Yes,
he's like-
Mr. Vogel.
Mr. Vogel, you want to help me?
It's like, why would I help you?
He's like, get all my stuff, all my people out of jail. And he's like, all right. So then Mr. Vogel calls Troy. And he's like, hey, release all of the, I was going to call them rollers. What are they?
Brotherhood.
The Brotherhood. Get them all out of prison. And he's like,
Which is, I mean, it's probably more true than I think it is, but he's just the head of a corporation who had enough power and sway to just let every gang member of the Brotherhood just out of jail.
yeah.
Yeah, well, he's in with the cops. He's paying them too, you know.
So all their cases get dismissed and they're starting to get out. And you're like, well, we got to stop this before it happens. So we're going to blow up all the prison buses and all the prison boats that are taking them to the shore.
Genius.
You get away with that.
Can you imagine, like, being in jail, being in a gang, like, knowing your life is over, you're just going to die in this cell. Then all of a sudden, they're like, hey, everybody's getting out. And you're like, holy shit, is
Oh,
it Christmas?
snap.
This is amazing.
Someone pulled some strings.
And you get blown up in the fucking van on the way to be free. Man, that's a kick in the dick. That's a side quest right there.
Yeah, right.
So obviously, Miro is all pissed because every single person in the Brotherhood's been fucked up.
Mm-hmm.
You eventually figure out, I don't remember if it was Pierce that figured it out or Shondi, that a shipment's coming in by boat. And it's the one that Miro's been waiting for. So you go to this boat yard or whatever, and you fight a bunch of Ultor guys.
Yeah, because Ultor took the shipment because they knew about it.
Yeah. And you find out it's just full of guns.
Sick.
And you're like, hey,
Awesome.
let's take these guns we stole from the Brotherhood that were stolen by the Ultor guys that we stole from them and attack the Brotherhood and kill them all. And you're like, yeah. So everybody goes. And eventually you end up fighting Marrow, who kind of just, manhandles you the entire time. And somehow you don't seem any worse for wear.
Yeah. I don't know.
He slams you through a floor.
Isn't he in a truck at one point?
Yeah.
You blow that up and Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because you eventually, you first meet him, I think he's in your monster truck surrounding you and trying to drive you over.
Yeah.
Which is a terrible way to kill somebody.
Yeah, come on. Monster trucks? Psh.
So you fight him at the demo derby and eventually kill him.
Doesn't at one point he has like a fucking minigun?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's like on the roof when you fall in.
Oh, it's like a different boss fight stage.
Yeah. That's like the first boss fight.
Yeah,
And then he gets away and then.
Yeah, I think he might actually slam you through the floor on that one. Because he pushes you through a concrete floor on one of them.
Yeah. It's fucked up.
Anyway, somehow you survive and kill him. I think you blow him up with a rocket launcher? Maybe? I don't know.
Yeah. Whatever. He's
and then
dead.
you shoot him in the face. Yeah. So that's 2 down.
All right.
And then finally we get an introduction into the third one. Who's the ones that Pierce has been in charge of. The Ronin.
Ronin.
Right.
And apparently they have some stake in a casino. And you're like, hey, let's steal some money from the casino. That'll get the Ronin's attention.
Of
That's what you
course. Now, doesn't Ronin mean like leaderless?
do. Yeah, it's like
It
yeah.
doesn't make any sense then.
Well, there's a lot of things that don't make sense.
Yeah, true.
Like how after you rob the bank, they're like, the police are baffled on how this could happen. This literally has been happening for 5 years.
Yeah, I don't know.
And then it cuts to the scene of Akuji? Or I can't remember the guy's name.
Yeah, Kuji.
And he's talking to his dad, and the guy's like,
No, Akuji. Yeah, they're both Akujis.
oh, I thought,
It's
Yeah,
Mr. Akuji and then his son.
what was it?
Shogo?
Or is Junichi the other guy? Shago, yeah.
Junichi was the bald guy that
Yeah, he's the
worked
number one
for
guy.
Akuji,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he worked for his dad
Well,
first.
anyway, the kid is calling his dad, and his dad's like kind of pissed, and his dad's like, that's it, I'm coming to town.
Oh shit!
I'm going to take care of the Saints if you don't.
Oh, God.
And then it cuts to another scene of Ultor also in cahoots with the Ronin.
Yeah, of course.
Because the Ronin...
Well, they actually respected their own. They didn't respect the Brotherhood at all.
Well, yeah. Because, one's blue-collar crime, and one's not.
Yeah.
The Ronin eventually, break in Aisha's house.
Oh, shit.
And they're there, and you and Johnny Gat show up.
Uh-huh.
And I wrote here's the description I wrote. The badass Ronin cuts off Aisha's head as soon as you walk in the door.
Yeah, because he tells her, don't say a word.
Yeah.
And then she says, over here.
And then, done. So now she's really
That's
dead
it.
after faking her death.
Yep.
And then there's a shootout, of course.
That's one thing I got to give this series credit for. They fucking kill their main characters.
Yeah.
Well,
Why not?
not you and Johnny Gat, but everybody else.
Well, no, Johnny the Cat's invincible.
Well, you guys don't know much about what happens in the next Saints Row games, I guess.
No,
Nope, I don't know nothing about nothing.
I just know what happened.
All I'm saying is, it's in the game title, so I don't think this is a spoiler. But
Gat
it's
out
called
of hell.
Gat Out of Hell. So
Fair enough.
yeah, he dies at some point. I think this is pretty obvious.
And then he comes back as Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's all a Jesus. This whole thing's a Jesus analog. These are the early years.
Oh,
Before he got superpowers.
When they robbed the bank, it's like when Jesus tossed the tables at the temple.
Yeah.
It's like this is like the first half of the Book of Job.
And there was a part where they pull somebody behind a horse.
Fuck
There
it.
you go.
Wow. That's my thesis, man.
It's all coming together. It's all coming together.
Anyway, you fight the Ronin, and Johnny Gat gets stabbed in the stomach,
Yeah.
intestines, or whatever.
Somewhere in the abdomen.
And you take him to the hospital, and somehow he doesn't get arrested there. But
I wanted to say that too. I'm pretty sure they have to call the cops if someone's stabbed with a samurai sword.
yeah.
I don't know.
But you're like, all right, that's it. I got to get the Ronin back. And they're like, well, the guy who's coming here is flying in on a commercial airliner.
Yeah, Kuji.
So let's go to the airport. I don't know why he doesn't have his own private jet.
He's not that rich.
What, you think he sits in coach with the rest of the guys?
No, he came in on a private jet. They showed it later.
Was it a private?
Oh,
Well, he
they
was
certainly
with a
did.
lot of other
Yeah.
But he
people,
was
though.
going to like the main airport.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think he was coming in on a private jet.
No, I thought I made it seem like he was coming in on a regular plane. Maybe he did.
Maybe it's just with all his gang members.
But anyway, you go to the airport. There's a shootout, but Akuji escapes anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
You get a call from Junichi, who's like, yeah, I'm going to get you. Whatever. And you fight him along this way here. Oh, that's right, because
Doesn't Shogo call you?
Shogo calls you and tells you because he's kind of pissed that Junichi's there.
Yeah. He's like, my dad likes this guy better than me.
Yeah. And somehow you're a better swordsman than, after 5 years in a coma, than this guy who's been trained to do it.
It's like, what is the equivalent? Mentally, you could be educated or you could be street smart, right?
Yeah.
So what is the battle version of street smart in that context?
Yeah.
Fair. Battle smart.
That street battle, street justice? I don't know.
Yeah.
There's probably something in there. We'll think about it. We'll noodle it around. We'll come up with something.
Yeah.
So then Akuji gets upset because Junichi's dead. And he's like, you're a worthless son. And then the son's like, I'll get revenge, don't worry. So he sends the Ronin to attack the hospital with Johnny Gat in it.
Of course.
And of course that doesn't pan out.
Mm-mm.
And the Ronin meet with Mr. Vogel again. And then Mr. Vogel meets with the Saints. And he's like, hey, you're doing a pretty good job here. I think I might throw my hat in with you guys.
He's like, you know what? You guys are pretty powerful. You took out 2 gangs. Well, probably a third coming up.
And as a show of respect, and I'm going to tell you where the Ronin HQ is.
Fucking A. Well,
He's like, you're welcome.
all right.
And of course, you go and attack the headquarters and kill a bunch of Ronin. And Mr. Akuji's even more pissed now.
Oh, shit.
So then it cuts to Aisha's funeral,
Mm-hmm.
which is closed casket because her head's not attached.
Yeah.
Sure,
obviously.
that makes sense.
Oh,
That checks out.
Are they going to bury her in her old grave that she faked? Or did she ever get it faked?
She does have a head, though.
She already paid for 1 grave. I don't know why we would go ahead and do 2.
They attach the head. Because he tips the casket over and she rolls out.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Right?
I thought that might have been a different casket, but no.
I don't know. Unless they're burying 2 people there that day. Who knows? Well, there were a lot of people dead that day. So,
Yeah. Anyway, the Ronin show up, Shogo especially, and like Johnny Gat's like, I ain't doing this at Aisha's funeral. But they're like, well, we are.
ooh.
And like people are Ronin attack, Shogo runs away, and then there's a big Shogo versus Johnny Gat moment.
Yeah.
And you and Johnny Gat end up burying Shogo alive.
That had to suck.
There's some pretty gnarly kills in this. That are like, I mean, the monster truck trunk, the buried alive,
Monster truck trunk.
Yeah.
monster truck, monster truck, monster truck. Nope.
And yeah,
Just
buried
doing some
alive, the
nonsense.
pool behind the truck.
Yeah.
I mean, they cut off Aisha's head, which is pretty cool. Anyway, then an old friend from the last game, Mr. Wong, shows up. And you're like, I used to do work for this guy. And he's like, yeah, I don't like Mr. Akuji here. So I'm going to try and help you.
Okay.
And then,
Interesting.
So you head back to the Saints headquarters, but the Ronin are attacking the Saints headquarters.
Oh, no.
And Mr. Akuji's there, and he's like, ha ha, and runs away. And then apparently there's a big heritage festival that Mr. Wong runs, and Akuji attacks that.
Yep.
And if that's where you finally have your final battle with Akuji. And after you kill him, guess what? Boom, Saints rule. Game over. No, just kidding.
Oh,
shit.
you got me. I almost believed you.
It's close, though.
Well, I had
It's close though.
to pay attention because when we did Saints Row 1, I listened to the podcast to try and remember what happened in it.
Yeah.
And apparently I missed the whole part that happened after the credits.
Oh, yeah.
Because there was like a big chunk of the game that happened afterwards. But anyway. And then it cuts to an Ultor investor meeting.
Mm-hmm.
And all the plans that they have from this town. And like, hey, we just want a gang wars to lower the property value, which is a great way to lower property
Of
value.
course.
Again from Vice City.
Yeah.
That's exactly what they
Yeah, it's like the annoying cowboy guy was trying to do.
Yep. Burt Reynolds.
So Ultor Special Forces attack the club that you're at.
Oh, no.
And all the other Saints at the same time because they're more coordinated than the other gangs were. So you fight off the ones there, and then you save Pierce, and then you save Shondi, and then you find out about Ultor has an R&D thing at a big complex underneath the mountain.
Yeah, the pyramid.
Yeah. And then you and Johnny Gat break into the pyramid and plant bombs all over and blow it up.
Smart.
Yep.
And then the Ultor CEOs are like, hey, Mr. Vogel, you got to stop the Saints. Yeah, one last chance.
Yeah.
So you get a letter to a party in a yacht, which is exactly what happened at the end of the first game, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Don't they mention it too?
Yeah.
Doesn't someone say like, you know how your last yacht party went?
Yeah. And they're like,
Something
he's
like
like,
that.
I'm going anyway. So you go to Ultor's boat and all the CEOs are there and you kill them all.
Oh, no.
And it was all a plan by Dane Vogel for you to go and kill everybody there.
So Vogel's the only
Yep.
board member left.
So he holds a press conference. He's like, hey, I'm in charge now. We're we're going to take the city back. We're going to do blah, blah, blah. And then apparently, of course, you're there with Johnny Gat trying to blow everybody up.
Gat sniping people.
Yeah. Gat's just loving sniping cops.
He's having a hell of a time.
And
just with zero consequence.
yeah.
Yeah.
So you chase Dane Vogel all the way up, and you fly. You get the helicopter guy to fly you one last time up to the steps, the fling, and
Yep.
shoot out. And you eventually kill Vogel,
Oh, thank God.
and you jump out of the thing and escape in a helicopter. Or no, you run to the top and escape in a helicopter.
Yes.
And then you're like, hey, it's the Saint City now. The end. The actual end.
I like when you're just in the helicopter, you drive by Johnny Gat, you're like, hey, we did it. And he's like, yeah, whatever. And he starts shooting
Yeah.
more cops.
Yeah, he's like, oh, hey, how's it going? I'm having a great time down here.
Yeah.
And continues this firefight.
Yeah. So that's it. That's the whole story.
Damn.
We got through it. We're better people. Now we know more about the Saints Row lore,
Yeah. Definitely learned a lot.
which, if I understand this game correctly, becomes fucking useless.
Yeah.
Probably.
Nothing makes sense. Doesn't matter.
Dude, I watched a video, because I remember playing 3 and 4, but I didn't remember the story that much, and then I rewatched it, and then, like, not the whole fucking video, I'm not an insane person, but, like, the story summary video, and I forgot, like, at some point you're fighting aliens in space. Like, this series, man, they went from, like, sort of based in reality gangster drama to, we got to go to this alien planet and kill everybody.
Well, yeah.
That's what's got to happen.
Gotta do something different.
Yeah, they stood out.
But anyway, how about we just get into our final thoughts? That's what the people want to hear. They want to hear what we think about this story.
Yep.
People love what we say about stuff.
And we're going to start with you there, Sir Chump Slap.
Oh, yeah?
It's your day to shine.
Bring it on, Broham.
So, did watching this video make you want to throw this in?
Mm-hmm.
Was the story great, or were there just way too many sins?
Swear he's used this one before.
Yeah, probably. I think he
What
only has
score?
2 that he goes through every time.
What score out of 27 stars do you think you'd give this bin? Oh, I did, because I said gin last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. I did do this exact one. Anyway,
Well, anyway,
thoughts?
would I play it? Probably not, because there's newer versions of the game, newer iterations of the game out. But, I mean, it looks fun. GTA style.
Mm-hmm.
Did the story work for me? Yeah. As far as it's the average story of a guy taking over a city by being a badass and killing off his rivals. Seen its story as old as time. I've seen it 100 times. But this one was slightly different. I think all the characters had personalities. Like everyone stood out differently in this. And it was fun. So, yeah, I'll say it worked.
Okay.
And score. I don't recall what I scored the first one. Do you have it there?
Yeah, you gave the first. You gave the first one an 8.
8. Ooh. Well, this one's definitely better than the first one. I was thinking 9, but let's give it a 10 because this one was good. Had heart. It had personality.
Had heart.
Yeah. I mean, heart's still something people look for. Not me, of course, but
I'm trying to figure out where the heart is.
It's between Shaundi and her drugs. Come
Yeah.
on, this is right in your face
Well,
the whole
and-
time.
I don't know. Payback for Carlos and shit. I mean, there's a little.
I wouldn't call that heart. Whatever.
Well, he had he's like, come on, man.
There's a slapper expert, not me.
There's a time when they're on the subway and he's like, come on, don't be so down on yourself. I'm gonna make you a badass eventually. He's kind
I
of
think
like,
he was fucking with him.
No, the heart is.
was he
the
fucking
heart
with
is,
him?
The heart is the friends we made along the way.
There it is.
All right, maybe heart wasn't the word.
Everybody loves the Saints. That's what the heart is.
Yeah, whatever. It was good. It had personality. Let's say that, and
I mean, I don't think we disagreed with you at any of that. It was
it was a good time.
No, absolutely not.
It's a good time. Let's give it a 10. Fuck it.
All right, 10 it is. It's on the board.
All right. So since Syintist is going last, this goes to Scotchy.
Oh, me. What's up?
And what would you like to ask?
Was this shoot 'em up video?
the gin?
Fuck you.
Was the shoot 'em up video
The shootiest.
muse for your playing?
Man,
That works.
it's probably the best one we've ever heard.
Was the story pretty good, or was it okay?
Ing.
And what kind of score you gonna give this game today? Yeah.
Perfect. Couldn't have said it better myself.
Thanks.
So one of the interesting things I'll see. Okay, does the story make me want to play it? I'm gonna say no, but it's 100% my personal bias because I already played 3 and 4 and I know where this goes.
Yeah.
So watching this doesn't immediately make me want to go for a third installment, because if I just played through all of 1 and all of 2 in, right in a row, I may be like, yeah, let's see where this is going. But looking back, they're like 2 very, very, very similar games.
Yeah.
They're very similar. And I don't know if I would just probably assume at the time that the third run would be exactly the same. So did the story, though, make me want to play it and rediscover these characters and figure out more about Johnny Gat? Sure. I mean, yes, mostly, kind of. Because you were right about all the characters having their own unique personalities.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's actually much harder to achieve than people think it is, because how many times have we seen disposable characters and all of us asking each other, wait, what the hell was that guy's name?
Yeah, right.
But in this one, we all knew the names.
Yeah.
Like, we all watched the video and we all knew, oh, that's Veteran Child. Oh, that's Pierce. Oh, that's Shaundi. There was no question to that. They had personalities, and that was great. What's our second question? Did the story work for me? I mean, for what it is, it did. I thought it was very interesting. I had to read about this after the fact, but the 2 guys that were major characters in the first game were Dex, who was also a saint.
Uh-huh.
Who works for Ultor now.
Yeah, but did you see him working for Ultor in this game?
No. Well, I did forget to mention that there's a scene that you could get that wasn't in the video that I watched.
Okay.
Oh.
I'll talk about it when I get them.
So, okay, then I'm just going to go with my thing that says you have no idea what happened to him. He was just gone. And then, or did they mention he worked for Ultor?
Someone did mention it, yeah.
Because Julius, who was the leader in the church and the guy you trusted the entire first game, do you kill him in this game?
Well, that's what I'll talk about, because that's the part that I missed. It wasn't in the video.
Okay.
But.
Yeah, there were 2, and we must have watched the same video because I didn't see either of those. And then when I was watching that summary video about the third and fourth, it talked about the second and how that happened. I was like, wait, did I miss that sequence?
Well, they didn't show you every single.
Well, here, I'll just do it now while we're doing
These
your
are pretty
thing.
2 very important sections.
Fair enough.
This is straight from Wikipedia. So,
Okay.
at any point during the game, you can listen to a wiretap conversation between Troy and former Saints leader Julius. And it says, which reveals that the former asked Julius to disband the gang in exchange for not arresting members. So he tried to get Julius to do it. And then knowing that you would disagree with that whole thing and never disband the things, that's why Julius attempted to kill you on the yacht.
Oh, Julius did it.
And then he retired. And then you eventually call Dex, who works for Ultor now, to discuss what happens. And then Dex agrees to meet you, but Dex plays you and invites Julius. And then you and Julius fight, and you kill Julius.
And then he killed Dex too for.
Yeah, because Dex tried to have Ultor attack both of you, and you fight off Ultor, and then you eventually kill Julius. I don't know if you ever get Dex back, but
All right.
So are you saying this isn't part of like the main story? Like this is missable?
yeah, you could not do any of that, I guess.
That's pretty big to be a missable section. Right?
Well, I mean, if you didn't play the first one,
Well, it has
wouldn't matter
nothing
at
to do with this. Yeah.
all. Yeah.
This taking over
I
the
suppose,
city.
yeah, if you didn't play the first one, it wouldn't make as much sense. It'd just be like, wait, who are these people? Oh, they must be from the first game, whatever.
Yeah.
And then you'd move on. All right, fair enough. So I was still talking, right?
Yeah. You're still on the did it work for you?
Sure, it did. And then what score would I give it? If I'm looking back at this correctly, if I wrote down the right things, which isn't always a guarantee, I gave Saints Row a 5. I think this is superior story-wise in every way. I don't think it's average story-wise by our scoring system. Like, I wouldn't go to a 13. I'm not a madman. But it was definitely better than the first, so I'm not going to overthink it. I'm going to give it a solid 7.
Mm-hmm.
And the knocks against it are just, like, small continuity things. You know what I mean? Like, you're in jail. you break out of jail and that's supposed to have consequence. You break Gat out of jail and that's supposed to matter that he's in jail. And then by the end of the game, people are just making phone calls, getting people out of jail. Gat's just killing cops left and right on TV. Everybody sees them. It's like the stakes didn't make sense to me. Like, how important is this supposed to be?
Obviously, the cops don't care.
Yeah, the cops just apparently don't care, and like all of them get murdered all the time, and everyone's just like, oh, sucks.
Well,
anyway.
the main chief cop guy, he was kind of your homie in the first one.
Yeah, Troy.
So maybe he just doesn't want to go after you.
It's weird he used his real name.
Yeah, right.
Maybe, I don't know, 7.
Seven's
Let's just
good.
move on to Dr. Syintist.
Oh, shit, we didn't do mine yet.
Oh, yeah.
So, Dr. Syintist,
Mm-hmm.
did watching this video make you want to play this gem? Did the story work for you, or did it just go down like a glop of phlegm? What score
what the fuck
out of
is a glop?
27 stars do you think you'd give this phlegm?
Give to them.
Always the worst is the last one.
I know. Glop of phlegm, though.
Would I play it? No. Yeah, I'm just
good
gonna
old
ignore
glop.
it and go on. Would I play it? No. It's not my thing. Did the story work for me? Compared to every other game we've done like this, which is at least 36, it's probably the best one.
Right? Stands out.
It's more interesting. I mean, there's a lot of unnecessary violence, and it's more violent than the other ones. You're kind of fucked up. You're just a psychopath in this,
I know. That's
which I
what
think
made
is
it
the
cool.
point.
Yeah.
It did have all the characters were kind of unique and did their own thing, like you said, except they're all kind of evil. And, well, I guess that's what happens when you're a criminal.
Well, yeah, you're part of a gang. You're trying to make a name for yourself.
Kind of annoyed me that you kind of just wake up from a coma and you're the toughest guy in the town.
I don't know. Johnny Gat's pretty tough.
Well, that's true. You're right. You're one of the toughest guys in the town.
All right, there you go.
But I mean, it was entertaining. Much more than Vice City we watched, 2 weeks ago?
Yeah.
And 3 weeks
yeah.
ago, and 6 weeks ago, and 8 weeks ago, which you do every other game.
Mhm.
The one thing I hate about these games is you're always breaking out of prison and then criming as much as you can.
Yeah, no one's just happy to be out.
Yeah. No one's just trying to live. You're like, I got to get back to doing what got me in prison in the first place.
Yeah.
Although your 5 years in prison weren't bad. You were in a coma the whole time.
Yeah, right. Time served.
Does that count?
Time served, dude.
I don't think you were ever put on trial yet.
It would still count, though.
Well, maybe.
You're in a prison hospital, yeah.
I'm pretty sure you're going for life anyway.
Oh, yeah. Well, 5 years less.
I just asked if it counted. I didn't ask if you'd still be in there forever.
We're going to get into the specifics of Saints Row courtroom cases.
There we go.
That'd be fun.
But I was going to give it a 5, but it has Michael Dorn, so I'll up it to a 6.
6.
Michael Dorn runs a point.
What'd you give the last one? Probably 2.
Probably 2 or 3.
I think it
3.
was a 3.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there you go.
This could be the highest game we rated all year so far.
No.
Well, if I'm doing math correctly, that gives
that's
us
iffy.
which is never a guarantee, that gives us a 23.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
10 plus 7 plus 6. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
23.
Yeah, man.
Just to see what kind of company that keeps, the game this was apparently mocking, GTA Vice City, also had a 23.
Well, that's because you gave that like a 17.
That's not entirely
That's
correct.
not
I give it a 12.
true.
Give it a 12. And then also at a 23, Dark Watch from this year.
Oh,
I
yeah.
can see that.
That was a fun one.
Dark Watch
We're
is
good.
an interesting one, yeah.
I wonder if we have any other classic 23s out there from the past. Ooh, this isn't me stalling.
Like, there's
That's
not
not
enough
what this
time in this
is.
episode. Let's just go.
A Link to the Past and Clock Tower, we gave 24s.
All
Not a lot
right.
of 23s.
Close enough.
You're right. That's a little
Close
tangent.
enough.
Anyway,
Yeah, you should be prepared ahead of time what we're going to score it.
Didn't we tell you?
that gives us a total score of 23. And now with that, we're going to go ahead and move into our favorite segment of every week, which is Dr. Syintist Classic 90s Album.
Let's jam out to the 90s.
Okay. Every week, we ask Dr. Syintist for a guaranteed amazing 90s album lock of the week, and he's never let us down. This week, Dr. Syintist, what do you got for us?
Oh, I got a classic. I definitely know I owned it.
Uh-oh.
I think both. Well, I don't know. Poppascotch.
I don't know what you had.
His tastes are weird. I'm pretty sure you had it.
Okay, I'll take that. That's fine.
It was released on May 31st, 1994.
Hate breed.
I have a couple too. Let's see which little hint I'll give you. Anyway, here we go.
I have a pretty good idea, but go ahead.
Well, do you want to take a guess before you give the hint? I mean, you get another guess afterwards.
If I get another guess afterwards, then I'm going to guess Nirvana heart-shaped box.
No.
Nah, he didn't.
That was In Utero.
Didn't he do a Nirvana?
That was
Yeah. I did
In
know
Utero.
Yeah, he's
I was
not doing
thinking of
two
In Utero.
Nirvana albums.
Anyway,
Come on.
this band's first tour was opening up for Madonna. Madonna's first choice was Run DMC, but they couldn't do it. Their second choice was the Fat Boys, and they couldn't do it. So this band...
Beastie Boys, License to Ill, Ill Communication.
Oh, well, I'll have to give it to you. It's Ill Communication.
Yeah.
This game is bullshit.
You've now tripled his score. So.
You guys are cheating. I know it. I'm not in the room. I can't tell.
I just know my 90s, dude.
Yeah.
Especially shit he listened to. I mean, I know.
Basically the same thing. Anyway, it was Ill Communication, you know, the great one with Sabotage. I was originally going to do, they did the video for one of the songs with, they just ran around LA doing stupid things.
Oh, it's a good song.
And Root Down and Sure Shot.
Heart Attack Man.
Yep. Do It was pretty good too.
It's a great album.
Q-Tip was on Get It Together. That was a great one.
Get it together.
Is it the one with the box art where the dude's like under the fucking bed, like with a bomb? Is it a bomb? What is he? He's holding something.
Oh, I don't even know what the album looked like.
Yeah, on the back. Well, isn't the front?
The front was a guy just at a drive-through, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's at a drive-through holding them.
Oh, that's what it is. It is a
A
drive-through.
case or something.
You thought that was
Man,
underneath?
my brain remembered that as a dude under a bed holding a bomb. And he's got like a fucking Sonic.
I was like, that could be
ordering
on the
some
back.
stuff.
I don't remember.
Get it together. That has that line. The phone is ringing. Oh
Oh
my God.
Yeah.
I love
Wow.
saying that.
But I was wrong my entire life.
Did you
And
actually
I'm
think that
just
was
realizing that now.
No, you probably came from a different timeline.
Maybe.
That's a Mandela effect.
I mean, that makes more sense than me being wrong my entire life.
I don't even know how you get that it looked like it was under the truck.
Unprompted. If you would have asked me what the cover of that album was, I would have explained just that for you. It was a guy under a bed holding a bomb. And then if you would have said, no, that's not correct, like it's actually a guy to drive through, I would have argued with you a lot.
Yeah.
Like a lot. I was pretty certain about this. Wow, my whole life just changed.
That's all right, man.
But it's a great album. You should listen to it anyway.
Yeah, fucking A.
Well, I don't know how I could move on, but we're going to move on with our next segment, which is Chump Slaps. Who would win in a fight?
Who's gonna fight? And who's gonna win?
Every week, we ask Chump Slap. We ask Chump Slap 3 different who would win the fight questions, one from the game we just played, one from gaming in general, and one from history or celebrity. This week, for this episode, I got to go with the heavyweight fight we didn't get to see, unfortunately. Shaundi versus Jessica.
Shaundi versus Jessica. I'm probably gonna have to go with Shaundi. I didn't really see Jessica fight at all, but Shaundi's a badass.
Yeah, Shaundi actually fights, so
Yeah.
cheats out a lot. So.
Good, because at the one point in the game, she's like, "That was pretty good, huh? I could probably take on Gat." And then you're like, "No, I don't think so. Maybe fucking the other guy, Pierce, but not Gat." So I'm pretty sure she can hold her own. But Jessica, I don't know. She gets fucking... Shaundi kidnaps Jessica.
Yeah. At the band, well, it's kind of with your help, though.
Yeah, and at gunpoint, but still.
Mm-hmm.
I'll have to go with Shaundi.
There you go. Shaundi. Makes sense. She does get in more gunfights.
Yeah, of course.
Second question. From gaming in general. This one, we're getting a little weird with it.
Okay.
In one corner, we've got Pyramid Head from Silent Hill.
Right. He's tough.
Opposite corner, Big Daddy from the BioShock series.
Oh, snap. That's a hell of
It's
a
a heavyweight
fight, man.
out.
Which Big Daddy?
Drill bit?
You from BioShock 2 or just a random Big Daddy?
Just a random Big Daddy.
I think I'd have to go with the Big Daddy.
Interesting. Okay.
Is there a little sister around that the Big Daddy's protecting?
Oh, yeah.
You gotta assume it's Max Rage Big Daddy.
Okay.
You gotta. Assume.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, the Big Daddy's got armor. Pyramid Head, I guess he's got the Pyramid Head, but he's not wearing any, like, body armor. He has the range, though.
You got a gun as a Big Daddy.
You have a bolt gun?
Don't they have guns?
You also can kill Pyramid Head with enough hunting rifle shots, but Big Daddy can run over dump traps. So it's.
I don't know.
I think that's
I
a
don't think
wash.
Pyramid Head's
Well-
going to use traps, though.
Yeah, he picked Big Daddy. Big Daddy's
I
the
think
answer.
they're both just going to run at each other, and the drill will just go through the flesh of Pyramid Head before the big fucking sword or whatever can pierce the armor of the Big Daddy.
So you're thinking while Pyramid Head has range, he can only keep him at bay for so long, and once they're in close, it's Big Daddy's.
Yes,
fight.
yes, exactly.
That's fair enough. All right, Big Daddy. Now from history/celebrity. I don't know how I feel about doing this. I'm just gonna say it.
But did someone just die?
No, it's sad. These are the people today. We're talking about the people
Big
today,
Daddy
not in their
Kane
heyday.
and Pyramid Head Johnson.
Mark McGuire versus Sammy Sosa.
Do they have bats?
Do they have
We're
steroids?
fist fighting.
Obviously. Sammy Sosa uses a corked bat, so that could do it.
Yeah.
Have you seen Sammy Sosa recently?
Yes, he looks very strange.
Yes.
I know that.
Did he lose a lot of weight?
He's
You should
white.
Google it right now. I'm not a religious person by any means, but I pray for Sammy Sosa.
Yeah.
Like I want him to come out the other side.
I don't know. Just because of that, I'll have to go with Mark McGuire. I don't know what he looks like right now.
I think he's still on TV with ESPN or somebody.
Yeah, he's still a big dude, right?
Let's check it out. He has to be, but he's got to be like 50 now, 50 something.
Well, weren't they both in the same time?
They were both
Yeah.
in at the same time.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like 98, 99 was the year they were smashing home runs.
Yeah. Yeah, they were both the big fucking...
He kind of looks like Gilbert Gottfried.
yeah, right? Dead. Oh!
Yeah, you're not wrong.
Yeah, I gotta say, I'm looking at Mark McGuire now. He's the bench coach for the Padres. Looking good, man. Like he lost the muscle, but he didn't get fat at all.
Yeah, so there we go. We got to go with McGuire, man, because Sammy Sosa just scares me.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, he looks like he'd be a villain in a Dick Tracy movie in the picture I'm looking at.
Dude,
baby
it's-
face.
Yeah, he's got like a fedora on. It's pink.
I don't even want to make fun of him. Like I just want someone to help him.
Yeah.
Something's wrong.
This is a call to our fans to help Sammy Sosa.
Yeah, this is like the third or fourth shot across the bow, just showing I need help. Oh boy. Anyway, let's end on that high note.
All right.
If someone had a fan letter they wanted to get to Sammy Sosa, actually Chump Slap knows him. Where would they send that email to, Sir Chump Slap?
Send it to plottytime@gmail.com, and once I set up this phone, I will respond.
There you go. And if they want to get to us faster on the socials and on the forums, how would they do that, Dr. Scientist?
At Plottytime on Instagram and Twitter. I think somebody checks those, not me. But I do look at the Reddit. You can go there and do pictures because they're always good.
I checked the Instagram I checked the Twitter once in 6 months.
Oh, I keep forgetting to look at the Instagram. While we get better at that, why don't you head over to plottytime.com, buy yourself a shirt or something, or go to YouTube, like and subscribe there. Really helps us out. Rate, review everywhere.
Fucking A.
Anywhere helps. That does it for us. So shout out Ham Man, shout out Blaine J, shout out. Fuck, I missed
Drago the Slago.
Drago the Slago. Sorry, no disrespect.
You son of a bitch.
I know again. We're leaving. Have a great day.
It's been a long episode, all right?
Play some video games. Don't trust Dr. Scientist. We'll talk to you next time.
Peace.
Peace.